What's going on, YouTube? Pistol Pete here. Today I got a fun one for you guys. Today is going to be a Clash of the Titans. We're going to be doing a review and comparison versus on the Giant Killer Bowie versus the Mega Preacher from KHHI. So we're going to see which one comes out victorious, or if they're tied, or what's going on. We'll see which one does some better performance here. So we'll start off with the sheaths on both, okay? And I'm gonna take out the blades first. So we'll start with the Giant Killer Bowie. Not impressed at all with this sheath. You know, I mean, it's okay. I mean, maybe a half a notch up from nylon, but even the cuts are all just jacked up and primitive. The button is all rusted out. I mean, it's just, you know, kind of a shitty sheath. I mean, it's put together okay, so I'll give them that. It's put together okay. I mean, it's not really bad. You can see there, it's already ripping right here, the leather from that, because the knife is too big for the sheath. So they just kind of like, they didn't even fit the knife to the sheath. Okay, and then now we'll check out the Mega Preacher sheath. So here's the Mega Preacher sheath, and now I have to say this is way better, way nicer. This one here for the Mega Preacher. This one also has two different lashing points in the back here, so you can carry it horizontally or vertically. And does have a strap here. The leather looks better quality all the way around. The riveting looks nicer. Just a better sheath all the way around. Better sheath. Okay, and then it does have this little strapping point for your wrapping around your leg, strapping to your leg. So here's a comparison of the two. Back up, oops, this way. And then, do it that way. So, you know, you can just see the quality difference. And even like side by side there, this one is a better sheath. Cut even better and everything, leather cut better. Stitching, you know, this one looks like nicer stitching. So let's get on to the knives. Enough with the sheaths. We're here to see the sheaths and talk about sheaths. We're here to talk about the knives. So here is the Mega Preacher. Now this one is they're both fairly sharp, actually, really sharp. The only thing is, as you know, I did reviews on these individually, so you guys can go check those out if you want to get all the specs on these things. I'll give general a few things, but I'm not going to go over every detail. This one did take a little damage during testing. And mind you, this one here is hand forged in Nepal. So you got to think, you're dealing with a hand forged, handmade product. So you're going to have some issues. You know, you can have some issues with, you know, not every single one is going to be flawless, right? Because this isn't machine made, these are handmade. So this one here did take a little damage. I did tell them to make it shave sharp. So, and they do warn you, as soon as you make it super sharp, obviously you get thinner behind the edge. The thinner behind the edge, the weaker it can be. But you know, and I mean, and to argue that though a little bit, I have other knives that are super shave sharp, and I have no issue. So, but again, this is handmade, hand forged. Okay, get back to the knife. So this one here is 16-inch blade. 16-inch blade on this one. This one is about, I believe about 18 inches overall, 19 inches overall. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. No, this one's over 21 inches overall. That's right. And fairly thick spine. Look at that. I told them to make that thick as they can for me. So I believe that this one here is about 9 millimeter, I believe, 8 millimeter thick. And just beautiful knife, beautiful knife. This one here was designed by Donnie B all day. Of course, I modified it. I stretched it out, made it more like a machete, 16 inch. For going back now though, I wish I would have made it a little bit shorter, because the original is 10 inch long. The blade is a 10 inch blade on the original. Going back, I wish I would have just made this one like a 15 or 14 inch, not a 16, maybe even a 13 inch, just to make it a little shorter. Because this one is a little bit front heavy, weight heavy, and it's a little awkward, you know, threw off the balance on this one. But it's still a nice knife. Check out those wooden handles there. Has a lanyard hole in the back, 3 pins here holding on the handles. Nice wood handles there. So this is again the Mega Preacher. So during testing, this did take a little bit, like I said, take a little bit of damage right here. A little bit of waving. But like I said, it could have been just a fluke, because I have other knives from them that didn't do that. Now, the Giant Killer. And I freaking love this. And again, both these knives aren't practical, right? These aren't going to be everyday carries. Even camp knives are too crazy, you know. But I have to say, they both are pretty good knives. You know, they can knife. These knives can knife and more. They're like pretty much hand axe. This one here is a 1/2 inch thick, 1/2 inch thick of steel, 5 pounds. That one weighs about 3. This weighs 5 pounds. Super thick guard. Rubber, like car tire handles here. Lanyard hole too is right there. It's deep fullers. I do like that, the deep fullers here. I love the look of this one. This one here is just awesome. The look of this thing is just a beast. So now let's put them side by side here. So you back up, and these things are so big I can't even get them in the damn frame. So you can see that this one is a little bit longer. Not by much though. I think it's like an inch longer or something. You can check out the thickness of both. So you can see how this one is a lot thicker, the Giant Killer, compared to the Mega Preacher. Both awesome blades, and we're gonna see what they can do. I'm gonna take them back out individually, test them side by side, see how they feel in the hand, see how they perform, see if they take any further damage. This one actually didn't take any damage. This one stayed really nice. I mean, even the edge, it's kind of a thin edge too, but this one took no damage at all in testing. This one here is 5160 steel, spring steel, and this one here is just called out stainless steel. It doesn't say what type or anything, just stainless steel. So we're gonna see which one feels better and performs better, and we'll go from there. Okay, I think we'll start this video off with some bottle cutting. It really has no testing or purpose, but it's fun to watch and fun to do, so we're gonna do it. All right, first Mega Preacher. Oh yeah, that was a clean cut. Look at that. All right. Okay, now let's try the Giant Killer Bowie. Oh yeah. Pretty much the same result. This one didn't come off all the way clean, but pretty much. I think it's just I hit it a little awkward, a little wrong, but it did the job. It did the job. Let's see. As my boy Scab from Choir Boys Cutlery, he said he cut in plastic. Let's see how this cuts plastic. Oh yeah. Yeah, fairly easy. Let's try the Mega Preacher. Yep. Both like butter. Both like butter. At the door now, gonna give it about 10 swings here and see how it feels, and see how much material it takes out on this old door, and go from there. Right there. Okay, let me go grab the Giant Killer. All right, now we got the Giant Killer here. 10 swings with this and see how it feels, and I'll give you guys my opinion. Wow. Okay. So that's 10 swings with each. I'm gonna tell you right now, I think the Giant Killer comes down a little bit harder, maybe because of that extra weight, because it's 1/2 inch thick. This one comes down a little bit harder. And it's kind of a toss up with the grip for me. This grip, obviously it's fat, it's not contoured or nothing like that, or it's not tapered down, so it's 1/2 inch thick in your hand, so it's kind of fat in the hand. So it's a little bit awkward. You still feel that thickness in the hand. It should be a little bit, in my opinion, they should have tapered it down a little bit. This one is tapered down, as you can see, and is contoured. But my only gripe is, let's see if it'll pick it up here, is that the handle isn't flush with the back tang here. So you guys can, because that's picking that up, but the tang, full metal tang here is protruding past the wooden handles. So you do feel that in the hand. I mean, you do feel that in the hand when you're swinging this thing. So, I mean, I'll give it, because since this has a better contour and feels good in the hand, it's a little thinner, so you get a better grip of it. It is a little bit, you do feel that rubbing, a little bit of a hot spot when it rubs in your hand right here with this. So just something small. So I'll give the grip a little bit more to the Mega Preacher, but not by much, not by much. Okay, let's do a bite test. We'll start with the Mega Preacher and see which one sinks in further into the log with the hard downward swing, and we'll compare. Yeah, that's fairly deep. You guys are picking that up, but yeah, that's pretty deep. It's a little over ½ inch in there. All right, now let's try the Giant Killer Bowie. Wow. Damn. I have to say the Giant Killer Bowie is going to be the winner of this one. Man, that's sucking more than ½ inch deep. But it's just, look at that spine. I mean, the thing is just an absolute beast, man, when it comes to like when it comes just the sheer weight coming down with that edge. Man, okay, let me back up here now. Let's check out the edges on both real quick since I did a hardware downward strike. Got you guys all over the place there. Oh man. Yeah. Okay. Any damage? Nah. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Okay, now let's check out the Mega Preacher. Nope, no damage. Just that little wave that was already there from the previous testing. Looking good though. Okay, let's do some rope cutting and we'll see how they both do here. We'll start with, let's start with the Giant Killer this time. Set that down. Alrighty. Let's see about doing a push cut. Almost, yeah, almost had to pull a little bit, so not really. Let's do a slice. Oh, slice easy. Butter there. Easy. Okay, and of course, the weight, and they're still pretty sharp. Chop is, you can make freaking mincemeat out of that. I mean, super sharp. All right. Let's try the Mega Preacher. All right, push cut. Let's see. No. No. The looks like the Giant Killer did a little better push cut. This one, even though I'm pulling it, it still doesn't come apart. So, no push cut for that. Let's do saw. Yeah, saws through it fairly easy. Yep. And of course, chopping is going to be a freaking cake because of the weight of these things. I don't know why you'd ever want to chop rope with a with a 3-pound or a 5-pound Bowie, but you can. If you needed to do it, you can do it. All right, now let's do what these things are made to do. Let's do some chopping. See how that goes. I mean, the weight of these things are meant to be choppers, so this one's already falling down. So let's do it. We'll start with the Mega Preacher first, and then move on to the Giant Killer. Yeah, these things, like I said, they're meant to do damage for chopping. So let's put it to the test. Oh, you know what? Let's do one and then one. Damn. This thing comes down like a sledgehammer, man. I swear. They're both really good, but man, that one just comes down a little bit better chopping. Let's try this now. Not bad. All right, let's move back to the giant killer. Damn. You guys pick that up? Look how deep that went in with just one swipe. Jeez. Ah, it's stuck in there now. Man. Whew. Back to the Mega Preacher. Damn. Flew up and barely came down, almost hit me in the head over here. All right. Giant killer. Jeez, the bite on that. Oh, damn. Came up, smacked me in the throat. Whew, not bad. Both are doing it. Okay, let's see about knocking this log in half here. We'll start with the giant killer. Ooh. Bam, there we go. About 2 swings there. Wow. Okay, let's get another piece about the same size and try it with the Mega Preacher. Okay, now it's the Mega Preacher turn. Let's see if I can knock this log in half. There we go. Similar to the giant killer. Say that was almost equal right there. Let's check out the edges on both here now that I did that. So far the same, just that same damage that was from the last testing, but nothing else. Giant killer, absolutely no damage at all. Just a little scuffing from going through logs, but that's it. All right, let's see. Let's do a little more. That was too fun. Let me see if I can get it in half again. Let's do it like this. There we go. Woo! Easy. This is the giant killer. Oh. Okay, I'm having too much fun with both here, but I got to give the one more time. Then I'm gonna give the Mega Preacher a turn. Oh man, that's fun. I love being a knife guy. It's funny, the stuff that makes you happy, right? Everyone has their own hobbies, their own things, but all you brothers and sisters of the blade know the enjoyment I get out of this, you know? Everyone has their own hobbies, their own things, but for me, smashing through wood with a sharp, big blade puts a smile to my face and gets me in a good mood. Bam! Straight in half. One more time. Now these are what this was designed to do. Go through some big ass logs. Let me try another piece here. That one's a little bit too wonky. Have to hold it. Do it like this. Careful, don't chop your finger off. Boom! Yep. That's it, guys. These things are bitching. Freaking love them. So let's keep going. Fun's not over yet. All right, let's start with the Mega Preacher and do some batoning. This is a big, thick log, so we'll see how we go through it, but we'll see how it does. Pretty easy, pretty easy. All right, now let's do the Giant killer. A little bit thicker piece here, so, and I'm going through a knot. As you guys can see there's a knot there, so hopefully it doesn't damage it. We'll see if it fucks up the giant killer here. You know what, let me take it out, check it out. Let's try that again. Flip it over here. More than one way to skin a kitty cat. That one I don't know, because that was right in the knot. I could probably pull it apart now. Yep, pull it apart. So right through a knot, it got held up, but instead of damaging the knife all the way, you can still see the flawless, no issues at all, no rolls, no folds. But I'm not stupid either. I'm not gonna damage it. I'm gonna go through the knot on purpose. But just to show you guys how you can get around that, I flipped it over and finished batoning it through the other side and able to pull it apart right through the knot. So, all right. Okay, let's do a little bit of feather sticking here and see how it does. All right, we're gonna start with the Mega Preacher and give it a throw at the log here and see how it does. Ooh, man, you guys hear that thud? Look at that thing. Look how freaking deep that thing stuck in. Woo! All right, let's move on to the giant killer. All right, now the giant killer turn. Damn. Shakes the whole damn bench behind it. Look at that, another deep penetration. Awesome. Yeah. All right, that concludes my review on the Mega Preacher versus the Giant Killer Bowie. Both awesome blades, both did good. And as you could tell from the few clips back, my dumbass freaking jacked up the freaking spine on the Mega Preacher, and I chipped the tip on the, or chipped the blade on the Giant Killer Bowie. Nothing crazy, nothing that bad, but you saw his feather sticking in, just the weight he's going down. It's pink, metal on metal. I don't care how nice the knife is. You could have a $600 knife made of Nolix steel, and it still will chip. You hit metal on metal, it's going to chip the edge, especially the edge being thin. So I don't blame the knives. You know, I mean, like I said, hitting anything on metal, you're gonna damage it. You're gonna jack it up. So, but even for that being said, I mean, look at the edge on the Giant Killer. No rolling, no folding, no warping at all on the edge. Went through all that, did all that. Batoning even went through that knot. Look at perfect, flawless, and then just right there is where I freaking, you know, I'm gonna pick it up. Right there is where I hit the, the spine of the Mega Preacher, and it caused a little nick. But you know what? That's fixable. I think once I'm gonna get a work sharpener soon. I think if I just go over that a few passes, you know, go from the coarse to the fine, I can get that back to looking almost brand new. So the rest of the edge is flawless though. I mean, this thing is, and it's still sharp, still razor sharp. So I mean, for going through wood and things it's designed to do, this thing's a beast. 1/4 inch thick. The heat treat on this is awesome. I mean, even to that little, it just did that, hitting metal on metal and going down kind of hard with that much weight and just a little tiny nick in the blade. Isn't that bad? Isn't that bad? So this is, I'd have to say this is, you know, pretty good heat treat. And then the Mega Preacher, held up pretty good too, you know. I don't see just that warping that I got a long time ago when I first tested it, going through logs. It kind of warped a little bit up here up top. But again, here's the spine. And in my opinion, this looks like it looks like the spine took a little more damage than than the edge did. The spine of this knife took more damage than the edge of the Giant Killer did. So you can see there, right there. You know, it took a little more meat out of that, a little more metal. So I'd have to say probably the heat treat on the Giant Killer is a little better. It's a little better than the heat treat on the Mega Preacher. Yeah, I'd have to say. So, you know, they both did great. They both did really good for being what they are, these big beastie freaking knives. They both held up really well. Doing all the testing here, even doing through more batoning and smashing through logs, they held up really, really well. You know, just my dumbass fault for hitting metal on metal, blade on blade, caused some damage to both blades. Both fixable though, both fixable. Even this one I can grind it down in the back and fix it. So thank God it's nothing serious. Not the blade's fault. You can't say the blade is cheap or whatever. These are both pretty damn good blades. I'd have to say the winner for me, I know everyone's gonna be different. You know, you got the, you know, everyone loves what they love, but for me, I'd have to say the Giant Killer. I would have to say outclassed, outmatched the Mega Preacher, in my opinion. The edge held up really well. It just, you know, the handle's a little fat in the hand, but it does feel good, and it does feel good. I didn't feel any hot spots. This has a little better contouring, but it did have that, like I said, had that little lip right here on the above the wooden handles here, which makes it a little bit awkward to give it a little bit more of a hot spot. I think the metal on this has a little better heat treat than this one. Not saying that they do bad heat treat, because I have other blades that did good too, but on this particular knife, the heat treat was a little soft, too soft, and it ended up and you could tell even from me hitting the spine of this one with the edge of this one took more meat out of this than it did of this little tiny little nick. So I'd have to say this is a better heat treat on this than this one. Not saying it's a bad knife. This is still a bitchin' knife. I mean, if you got either one of these, you'd be happy. You get out of the box, it put a smile on your face. You'd be freaking happy. You're like, oh damn, you cannot go wrong with either one of these beasts. I mean, they're fun, you know. And again, like I said in both these videos when I made these, they're not practical, right? I mean, these are fun, almost, you know, you'd say novelty, but they are functional. They will do all the tasks you need to do, even feather sticking. Like I said, I stopped because I hit the freaking thing, it pissed me off, and I was like, no, I'm not even gonna freaking do that feather sticking, and it's useless. You can feather stick with these, you know, pretty much any knife that has a good edge you can feather stick with. It's, you know, and these aren't going to be made for it. These aren't good feather stickers. They can do it. You can go back and see my review on each of these. They both do feather sticking really well. So, I mean, it's not, to me, I don't want to even put it in there anymore. These are meant for chopping and doing stuff like I did, the tests I did. So that's why I was like, you know what, I'm not even going to freaking throw feather sticking in. But just to have them, you know, just to have these are bitching. I mean, if you're a knife guy and you love just big, fat, I love big Bowies. I love big, thick Bowie knives, you know, different shapes. And this one here just looks awesome to me. And this one's pretty awesome too. You know, they're both cool, awesome knives, you know, so you couldn't go wrong either one. And they're both functional. You know, practical, maybe not, but functional, yes, you could use these if you want to. Is there better knives for doing all these different tasks? You know, better camp knives, of course, yes. But just having the collection and to pull it out and for a wow factor, it'd be the one of these people are like, God damn, those are crazy. So I highly recommend either one, really. But today I would say the Giant Killer came out victorious. So, all right, YouTube, that's it. And don't forget, when I get to my 500 subs, I'm giving away the bitchin' Black Mule Bowie by Rough Rider. That thing, check out my testing on that. Go to that video, like, subscribe, and then just put down there subbed and put 500 subbed and 500, and you could win a badass knife. Once I get to 500, I'm gonna do the raffle, give that away. So just a reminder again, guys. All right, please like and subscribe, and until next knife, gun, or whatever.